All right, good afternoon. This is our topic, which is utilizing cigarette ash for briquettes, case study on FTMD smoking area. Next slide, please. This is the overview of this presentation, introduction, literature study, methodology, analysis and discussion, and also conclusion. Next.
For this topic of utilizing cigarette ash for making briquettes, we derived the background from depending too much on coal to power our livelihood to the cigarette waste that is produced constantly in Indonesia. This also affects FTMD because of the amount of cigarette waste that our smoking area produces. And these are the objectives of our research. The first one, we want to validate and approximate the idea to make briquette at any quality from recycled cigarette ash. The second is to create a waste management method in collecting the cigarette ash in FTMD's smoking area. And the third is to develop a pre-treatment and overall process for making briquette dough out of cigarette ash.
As Nayla have explained in the objective of this case study, one of the objectives is to validate or approximate the feasibility of using cigarette ashes to make briquettes. Firstly, we're going to look at two distinct definition, which is cigarettes and briquettes. Cigarettes is a tube-shaped tobacco product that is made of finely cut cured tobacco leaves wrapped in thin paper. The distinguishment of common cigarette is within its contents, as there are various brands that scopes down to two main types of cigarettes, which are normal, or we used to say as rokok putih, and clove cigarettes, or we used to say as rokok kretek or rokok filter. Normal cigarettes have less tar and carbon monoxide in them compared to the clove ones that overall has more content in them. Thus, this gives the idea that it's almost true that normal cigarettes are healthier than clove ones. A briquette or a fuel briquette is a solid fuel made from a variety of waste materials such as charcoal from low-density wood, forestry waste materials, domestic waste, agricultural residues, and paper, as well as any type of biomass waste. The purpose of briquette is to cook and heat water in household, heating productive processes such as tobacco curing, fruits, tea drying, and poultry rearing. And there are many more into the purposes of briquette. And briquettes are classified into two categories, which are carbonized and uncarbonized. The carbonized briquette is a volatile matter that is driven of resulting in char, which is used as feedstock. And carbonized briquette give off less smoke and have more heating value. This is one of the observation that our group have made, which is the common cigarettes that is used in Arkun GKUB in ITB, and we scoped down into a few of them, and here are the prices between the clove cigarettes and the rokok putih cigarettes, or the normal cigarettes. As you can see, by averaging the price, the clove cigarettes is quote unquote cheaper than the normal cigarettes, as the clove cigarettes have 26,250 rupiah and the normal cigarettes is 29,600 rupiah in average. So this gives the idea that normal cigarettes are way expensive than clove cigarettes. In this case study, we're going to use clove cigarettes as the main cigarette because we conclude that we conclude from this table that it is more common to ITB students. A study in the journal Kimia Terapan Indonesia on PT Perkebunan Nusantara X shows that the ash weight in a single briquette, or the average ash weight in a single briquette, is 7.89% to 9.93% of its overall weight. If we take just 8% as an approximate number, we would need about 80 grams of ash to make 1 kilograms of briquette. Another journal from the University of Pajajaran states that the average cigarette burns 10 to 20% of ash to overall content weight. From the previous table, we conclude that we're gonna approximate this case study by using clove cigarette as the uh, main cigarette. And if we take the average from 10 to 20% of ash to overall content weight, because of clove cigarettes having more content in them, we can safely assume that by using 18%, we would get approximately 0.27 grams per 1.5 grams of clove cigarettes based on the paper. The numbers can fall directly aligned to make 1 kilogram briquette a day, as there needs to be approximately 300 clove cigarettes burned and collected each day to make 1 kilogram of briquette. This is one of the processes for making briquette in industrial level. Next.
Okay, this is how we plan to execute this project. Which first of all, we need cigarette a cigarette receptacle to be put in the area kuning the area kuning area, so that people will throw away their cigarettes to this receptacle. The way this receptacle works is that the trash bin is separated into two. The first section is for disposing the ash, and the second is for the cigarette butts. So when people are smoking, they can discard the ash in the first section and throw away the cigarette butt in the second section. Next, please. Next, after the cigarette waste have all been collected, the cigarette waste should be put through the pyrolysis process. Pyrolyzing cigarette butts involve heating them in a low oxygen environment, typically at 400 to 800 C, and it causes the cellulose and acetate filters to decompose. During this process, volatile gases and liquid bio-oil are released, and it leaves behind a carbon-rich char. While pyrolysis can break down some harmful compounds, heavy metals, and toxins, it limits its safe applications, but it still can be used for burning. The char may find use as a low-grade fuel. Oh yeah, no, not next. The briquette. So after it has gone through the pyrolysis process to solidify it into a briquette, it will be put through the briquette machine to give a solid block of briquette that can be used for burning. And the study shows that pyrolysis of cigarette waste at temperature 400 C yields the highest fuel at 33%, and also at that temperature, the higher heating value is 12.8 kilojoule per kilogram. Next.
Okay, our research concludes that cigarette waste is obviously deeply harmful for people and the environment. In our research, we concluded that the higher heating value is not that high, but recycling cigarette ash into briquettes can at least contain and give value to our waste management. And here are the references that we used for this research. Thank you for your attention. This has been the utilizing cigarette ash for making briquettes group.